What's up guys, Boss here, and I'm back with another YouTube video, and this time we're going to be playing some ladder using what is currently the best bridge spam deck in the game right now, and it's also one of the best decks in the whole game right now. Not just bridge spam, but it's one of the best, most consistent archetypes right now as well. In fact, the person who finished number 1 last season was Wero. He not only finished number 1, he also finished number 3 in the world using this exact bridge spam deck. And the only card in the deck that ended up getting nerfed was the Heal Spirit. But in my opinion, it's still easily one of the best cards in the whole game right now. For 1 elixir, just the amount of value it gets, the small healing nerf is barely going to impact the card in my opinion. And we still see, even after the balance changes, the Heal Spirit is everywhere and fits in every single deck that it did before. So you have a lot of pressure with this deck. Obviously, you have the Bandit, you have the Lumberjack, and the Magic Archer. Magic Archer's a great way to get chip damage on their tower as a secondary win condition in case you can't break through with a Ram Rider. Inferno Drag is so good against all the tanks right now in the meta. Like, there's a lot of RG, so much RG right now, and often RG decks don't have a reset for the Inferno Drag, or if they do, you can often outcycle it. And also, it's really good versus like golems and just any sort of win condition in general. And the Ram Rider, of course, on defense, super good versus balloons, super good versus hog riders, slowing it down, and often they don't even get a single hit on the tower if it slows it down enough. Before we get in the first game, if you guys want to support me, use my creator code BOSS. You can use it in any Supercell game, help support me, help support the channel, and I really appreciate all you guys who do use my code. So I'm currently at 6135, which is about top 1500. Nothing crazy, but we'll try to work our way up. And yeah, see how this bridge spam deck, you know, it's obviously so good. I mean, if it finished number 1 and number 3 in the world last season, I think that kind of shows how good it is. I mean, that's pretty remarkable. I mean, not only does it finish number 1, but also number 3. Like, that pretty much proves it's a pretty solid deck. All right, this guy's got a miner. That could be a lot of different things. He's got a Night Witch as well, so, I mean, Night Witch is usually paired with Golem and Elixir Golem, but because it almost makes me assume it's a giant deck, just because if he has the Miner and the Fireball, I don't know what else it could be except giant. His Fireball is out of cycle, so it almost is tempting to go in with a Lumberjack and a Ram Rider, just because I don't really... Oh, so it's probably... I guess it's Lava Hound, most likely. So being aggressive like this, I guess, was okay, just because I feel like... Well, we'll have to see what he does. That's the question of if it was okay or not. And actually, it's going to be completely fine. We can just Bar Barrel to distract the Inferno Drag. Hopefully the Inferno Drag has to reset and follow it a little bit. Unfortunately, it didn't. I probably could have timed that Bar Barrel better. Played it a little further away from the Inferno Drag, or waited a little while longer to play it, so then that way it had to reset its charge. Because I felt like that Inferno Drag got a lot more value than it should have. And I probably could have prevented that from happening. But anyway, we spaced out the Inferno Drag as well as the Magic Archer, so there's pretty much no way that he can... I mean, he's going to reset... Oh, look at this Fireball value. I mean, look at that. That was just pretty crazy. I mean, that one bat did so much damage. That was a little bit unlucky. But now that his Barbarians are out of rotation, I'm going to try to apply pressure. And I think we take tower here. Ram Rider hopefully can... He's gonna miner. I think he might... Oh my gosh. Wow. He didn't have he either didn't have Zap and Cycle, or he barely didn't have Elixir for it, or he kind of had a little bit of a brain freeze and like thought he was going to take the tower, and maybe he had a zap and cycle but just didn't play it. But we got a little bit lucky, I'm not gonna lie. I don't even think that that's a bad matchup at all. I think that was much closer than it had to be. I think my defense I could have played a little better. And also, there was one Ram Rider I played that wasn't good because he had Barbarians in rotation. I could have played it further back, so it actually took out the bat that was on my tower. But I let the bat get so much damage, and I probably could have just used the Ram Rider to take it out. So, of that whole game, that was probably the one mistake I made, is I would have, if I were to do anything over, it would have been playing that Ram Rider further back, so it actually defended that Miner and Bat that were locked on my tower. But anyway, here we go. We found our next game. We can just cycle Heal Spirit in the back. I normally do make the first play with this deck. I think with Bridge Spam, it's really important that you're starting the game in single, because a lot of games you have to win in single in certain matchups. Ooh, nice Heal Spirit. That's going to allow the Barbarian to get a connection. So Bats, Ice Spirit, Snowball. Interesting. I don't actually know what this is. Princess as well. Maybe it's like a hog deck of some sort. I don't really know what this is, though. Because he just spent 7 elixir, if that... Oh my gosh, did we just win already? Because he missed the snow... I think he lost. He's so low on elixir. Yeah, he really messed up. That was an awful Princess at the bridge. And then he went for a Lumberjack. So he spent 7 elixir, and that's exactly what Bridge Spam does really well. It kind of like, I made a video on P.E.K.K.A. Bridge Spam, you know, how you punish your opponent's, if he has Snowball back in cycle, unfortunately, no, he didn't. So let's go. Balloon doesn't get any hits. And now that's good that we were able to defend that Balloon without having the Ram Rider in cycle, because actually, okay, nice. Hopefully this Heal Spirit, not the best. I mean, if it was able to hit all the bats, we could have gotten damage quite a bit more. But anyway, I think we're in an okay position, because he actually, next time he goes in for his Balloon push, we can just Ram Rider it. And when he went in for that Balloon push the first time, I actually didn't have a Ram Rider in rotation, so as a result, it kind of was difficult to stop that Balloon. But now it's going to be easier, and we're going to be able to have counter push off of it. So I can pretty much just go for a Lumberjack to block his. Actually, this Balloon might actually get damage, and that's just because... Oh, nice, his Princess died, because he played Goblins to distract the Ram Rider, so that was pretty well played on his end, I'm not gonna lie. So you can see we get counter push every time. We just have to, if he doesn't get death damage, he loses. There's no way he can get it. Like, look at this. We have an Inferno drag down, a Ram Rider stunning it. We could even just pressure, because even if he were to get death damage, there's no way he would have been able to defend that counter push. So he got a little bit close at the end. I mean, he did a pretty good job of getting that Balloon to the tower and going for the Goblins to distract the Ram Rider. But you can see when the Balloon is not supported, it's extremely easy to stop it with the Ram Rider, but when they do go in for distractions, then it gets a little bit, you know, difficult, and you do have to go in for, like, fireballs and other things like that to push back the Balloon, but I guess we did a pretty good job of holding off at the end. Okay, so 1 game away from 6,200. Let's keep going, and... I'm trying to think of what the hardest matchup would be for this deck, so you guys kind of know what it's okay to lose to. I would say I assume at least that Expo is a pretty difficult matchup. I don't really know how you're supposed to break through a Tesla with this deck, and also they can pretty easily get an Expo connection in single. Probably the other thing that I was so tempted to pressure with a Lumberjack Ram Rider in the opposite lane, but I don't think it's... Oh wow, interesting. I'm a little bit surprised that he went for an RG that aggressively. It's only gonna get 1 hit. I mean, whoa, what an interesting deck. Minion Horde RG. I guess I can just go for a Bar Barrel to distract. I don't really want to spend too... Oh my gosh, he's got a... Wow, what a crazy, crazy deck. I wish I had known he had... Dang, I really wish I knew that he had, that he had a Goblin Barrel before I played the Bar Barrel Distract. I just didn't think he would have this crazy of a deck. So RG Bowler, Goblin Barrel, huh. Very, very interesting. I mean, I guess we should set up for an Inferno Drag. This will probably prevent him from playing an RG. I can also Ram Rider to slow the RG down if he chooses to. Oh, he's got a Wizard too. At this point, I can't really say I'm surprised. He's gonna star me. And if he goes for an RG, I'm gonna have to Ram Rider. But it's actually going to do quite a good job of slowing it down. You can see when the RG's by itself, it kind of gets perma-stunned until the Ram Rider goes away from it. So that's why when you're against any kind of like Hog Balloon RG deck, you're using your Ram Riders on defense quite a lot. A lot of people think that the Ram Rider's kind of an offensive card, but I would consider it equally defensive and offensive. Like, there's so many situations where I'm using it on defense, and that's why I consider it a fairly high skill card. I think a lot of people think of Bridge Spam as easy to use because you're just playing everything at the bridge, but there really are so many matchups and situations where you're playing a very defensive game and you're often not playing many Ram Riders at the bridge if you're forced to... Whoa, how did that Ram Rider get a charge on his tower? It just went through the bowler. I don't know like what happened, but... I mean, we just completely shut down everything. The Ram Rider got so much value, and we pick up a pretty easy win. I feel like it's a good matchup for us, even though he's got Bowler, which does such a good job versus Ram Rider, typically. But he doesn't really have any... He didn't have any reset for the Ram Rider. Like, he didn't have any E-Wiz, and the arrows didn't get him much value, and also... Just my Magic Archer gets so much value there against all his bait cards, like the Minion Horde, the Skarmy, and then I got Bar Barrel, and the only thing I'm using Bar Barrel on is the the Goblin Barrel, because obviously the Bar Barrel can't reach the Skarmy, so there's no point in going for Bar Barrels on offense, because he can play the Skarmy further back, because it can't reach it. Alright, so we make it into the top 1,000, let's keep going, seeing how high we can get, and alright, we found our next game. Rodriguez. We'll give him the good luck. So I'm either going to start with a Heal Spirit or a Bandit. I'll wait like a couple seconds, see if he wants to do anything. But because he's not, I guess I'll just start with a Bandit. I feel like Bandit is for sure one of the best starting plays with this deck. Is going to go for a Bar Putt. So I'm going to go for a high Inferno Drag. That's usually it's usually a good play, because what that does is it forces a response out of them if they don't want to lose their Bar Putt. But it looks like in this case he's just going to allow me to completely take out the Bar Putt, which is a very interesting... So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let the Baby Dragon lock on, and because he doesn't have a Bar Putt in rotation, I'm going to take some damage, and I'm hoping that we get a lot just because he doesn't have so much elixir. Didn't get as much. Oh, and this is a little... I think he has E-Drag, so this is going to be a little bit of a difficult matchup. Because E-Drag is really good versus the... Something tells me he doesn't have E-Drag, because I don't know why he'd waste a whole Baby Dragon like that. He might Bar Putt here. No. He didn't have the Elixir. I'm guessing he didn't have the Elixir. So that was a really, really smart Bandit. Whoa. That was an awful tornado. Because that kind of helped me. Like, all that accomplished for him was it helped me finish off the bar putt, so I don't know what he was thinking there. That was a pretty bad play, to say the least. I want to try to get his tower. Like, I'm fine going in a... I feel like a 2-tower situation. I just really want to take his. Oh, no. Please kill the healer, though, at the very least. Nice. All right. I mean, we're... I'm a little bit... I think we're screwed, to be honest. Yeah, it's definitely a hard counter, but I didn't play it well. But Eagle is 100% not good. Although we are potentially making a little bit of a comeback here. Alright, there we go. You gave us the fireball value we needed. But guys, I'm so nervous because we're in double right now, and I feel like he can just build up a massive Eagle. Like, I don't know what we should do in this situation. I feel like maybe we just have to pressure, but I don't know. Like, I don't know what we can do. We'll see. But all I know is stopping this Eagle push is going to be very, very difficult. Although we are going to get some elixir here, which is going to be very, very helpful. Oh, wow, he got unlucky that E-Drag wasn't... Whoa, the E-Drags got distracted? Okay, we got a little lucky. That was helpful for us. We could potentially win this now just because of all the elixir we got. I kind of want to space everything out so we can't fireball everything. We can go for a bandit on the king tower. Oh, he's so low on elixir. I think the bandit is going to dash on the king. Let's go. And he has to go for a defensive Eagle. If your opponent goes for a defensive Eagle, that's how you know they lost and they're screwed. So, I mean, that was a really, really nice win. And I feel like that's honestly a matchup I wouldn't consider very easy. I mean, I think I overreacted a little bit and thought we were going to lose when I saw the double Eagle push. And the thing is whenever you're against Eagle, you never know when you see like an Eagle push coming in if you're going to defend it or if you're going to get destroyed. And I was not very optimistic at all, and I thought we were going to get destroyed, but we managed to somehow defend, and that's what sometimes happens when you're against Eagle. But definitely, to me, felt like it was going to be hard because he had the E-Drag, but I guess we worked our way around it, and this is why this Bridge Spam deck is so good, like, you know, and I think why it finished number 1, number 3 last season. It has so much outplay potential, because, I mean, you have a lot of pressure cards, and it's very important that you know what to cycle at the right time, because if you at any point cycle like an Inferno Drag at the wrong time, like right into an E-Drag, you're just wasting 4 elixir and you could lose because of it. So you have to be really, really careful what you're cycling. So yeah, we'll play 1 or 2 more games. We're on a pretty solid win streak right now. We're to cycle a bandit in the back and see what this guy has. So he has a ghost, so this might be... It could be P.E.K.K.A, but also Ghost has been making appearances in a lot of decks after that small buff it got. But it looks like in this case it most likely is going to be... Let's try to get a Lumberjack here to counter both. Okay, nice. That's pretty good. Instead of fireballing, I want to go for a Magic Archer so we actually have counter push potential. Pretty sure I timed it correctly. Yeah, I timed it perfectly, so then that way... Okay, he goes for a Zap, so he just spent 6 Elixir, Battle Ram, and Zap. He can't afford to play a P.E.K.K.A in front of this. He most likely is going to go for an E-Wiz to shut... Oh. I mean, what I meant is he couldn't go for a P.E.K.K.A in front of the Battle Ram, but I guess he has enough to play it now, obviously. So he doesn't have a Zap in cycle, so I'm going to try to... What we have to do is prevent this E-Wiz from stunning the Inferno Drag. So notice what I did there. I kind of held it in place so it didn't walk forward, knowing he didn't have a Zap in rotation. Bandit's going to dash on the tower. He does have Zap in... Whoa, what? That was actually a super nice kite on his end. Kind of caught me off guard a little bit. And he somehow took the lead. After that really nice defense and like that bandit dashing, I was feeling pretty good about the situation, but I mean, honestly, we had nothing in cycle for that battle ram, so it's a pretty nice play on his end. I don't know if he knew our cycle was bad. He might have just been going for the defense, but, you know, unfortunately, I didn't have much for that battle ram. Okay, we can fireball the magic archer this time because he actually plays it next to his tower. Okay, so he goes for bandit. We're going to pick up some damage in that lane, which is nice as well. We can go for a ram rider. I like going... Wow, that was a horrible ghost in my opinion. But I really like going for ram riders on defense against battle rams and pretty much any... If you guys have noticed a theme of this video, it's definitely been ram riders on defense. You're seeing in pretty much every single matchup, ram riders are so useful on defense. It's not a card you always want to be playing at the bridge. You really do need to, like I've been doing, using it on defense, like against these battle rams, and if there's like, you know, really anything, like a balloon, battle ram, skeleton barrel, anything like that, anything you need to slow it down. And he kind of messed up his... So let's, again, try to block this E-Wiz, so then that way it doesn't get in range of the Inferno Drag. Somehow, some way, the P.E.K.K.A. does get a connection on the tower. That zap is just brutal, resetting the Inferno Drag. And I'm not going to lie, this is a tough one. I watch Wero and Carpy. So Carpy's the best P.E.K.K.A. player, and Wero's the best bridge spam player, the one who finished #1 and #3 in the world last season. I normally see Wero lose to P.E.K.K.A. It's honestly not an easy matchup because you have to deal with the fact that your opponent has 2 really solid resets to the Inferno Drag, and it's like so difficult, and I would even say it's almost impossible to prevent the the Inferno Drag from being reset. Like, there's pretty much not much you can do to control that from happening. I mean, really the only thing is obviously, you know, trying to do what I did, like block the E-Wiz from crossing over, but, you know, it's difficult. And honestly, if I should have done anything differently, maybe I should have pressured the opposite lane when he did end up going for that P.E.K.K.A. at the bridge to force a response out of him so he couldn't support the P.E.K.K.A. with an E-Wiz. So even if my Ram Rider was out of cycle, maybe I should have gone for a Bandit and a Lumberjack in the opposite lane, but then again, he probably would have just kited it over with a Battle Ram, so it's a little difficult for sure, but I'm not saying I played that perfectly. There are probably, I'm sure, a couple things I could have done better. Let's go for one last game, and then that'll be it for the video. So we're against Fight Me, so we can just cycle a Heal Spirit in the back, see what he wants to do. Okay, we can just go for a Bard Barrel since he's not doing anything. This will definitely force a response out of him. So it looks like he's got an Ice Wizard. It could be Expo, but it could also be Graveyard. Ooh, it looks like it is going to be Golem. I'm going to see if I can line up the... That's not very good. Although that was not a very good tornado. Because after the tornado rework, you can't really tornado Inferno Drags away anymore from... Just a tip, if there's a ground card, you can actually play the Bandit behind your tower. And I didn't time that correctly, so that was a horrible tip. But I see a lot of people playing it to the side, and you can actually play it behind the tower, but not timing it like how I did, you know, actually timing it correctly. That's what I meant, but... Okay, so he's got a Bomber. Alright, I think I'm going to pressure the opposite lane. Yeah, this is pretty good. I mean... Oh, I retargeted it? Oh. That's still so bad. I messed up a little bit. I definitely messed up. That was not good. I screwed up. He's gonna give me a value fireball though. Let's go. That's really good. I think we can win. He might lightning this. Oh. Oh. The fireball. That's fireball range. But the magic archer takes it. Let's go. I messed up a little bit. Not a ton, but a little bit. I forget what I did wrong, but I think I was too aggressive at the wrong time. But at the end, we adjusted and we were totally fine. We got so much value off of our Inferno Dragons against the Golem, and you can see, you know, even when they try to tornado the Inferno Drag away, it doesn't usually reset it for at least a very, very long time after the tornado rework. But yeah, we'll end the video there. Not bad. We climbed up to the top 800. Nothing crazy. You know, but then again, it's so early in the season, so the ranking doesn't matter too much. Maybe I'll try to be one of the first to get 7K trophies. That'll be a few days, though, until it's even possible to get 7K, but maybe next weekend I'll do that sort of, or this weekend, I should say, because right now it's Tuesday, so maybe this weekend on Saturday or Sunday, try to make a push to 7K. You know, we'll see, but yeah. That's gonna be it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to like the video if you guys did enjoy it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and let me know what you guys want to see next. And yeah, this is definitely the best bridge spam deck in the world. As I said, finished #1 and #3 last season, so it really is the best of the best out there. If you're looking for a very consistent deck and easily the best bridge spam deck, this is what it is. So thanks again. Until next time, guys.